Question 1. Which of the following is a key factor in determining whether a claim is valid under an insurance policy? A. The claimant's financial situation. B. The type of insurance policy held. C. The age of the insured property. D. The number of claims made by the insured in the past. Answer: B. The type of insurance policy held. Explanation: in the claims adjusting process, the type of insurance policy held is crucial in determining whether a claim is valid. Different policies cover different risks, and an adjuster must ensure that the claim falls within the scope of coverage defined in the policy. For example, a homeowner's policy will cover damages to a home, while a renter's policy covers only the contents of the rented space, not the building itself. Understanding the policy's exclusions, endorsements, and conditions is key to determining whether the claim is valid. It is incorrect because the claimant's financial situation does not determine the validity of a claim under the policy. C is incorrect because the age of the insured property may impact the claim settlement. E. G. Depreciation, but it does not determine if the claim is valid under the insurance policy. D is incorrect as the number of claims made by the insured in the past does not determine the validity of the current claim. However, excessive claims history might affect future premiums or lead to policy non-renewal. Question 2. Mr. Thompson is a claims adjuster assigned to evaluate a flood damage claim. After inspecting the property and reviewing the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP) policy, he discovers that the flood damage was caused by a combination of both heavy rain and an overflowing river. What should Mr. Thompson do to ensure proper handling of the claim? A. Deny the claim, as the flood damage was caused by an external factor not covered by an FIP. B. Only consider the rain damage, as the river's overflow is outside the scope of the policy. C. Evaluate the claim based on the terms of the NFIP policy, ensuring both rain and river damage are considered. D. Recommend a legal review of the claim to determine if both sources of flooding are covered under NFIP regulations. Answer: C. Evaluate the claim based on the terms of the NFIP policy, ensuring both rain and river damage are considered. Explanation: the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP) typically covers damages caused by flooding resulting from an overflow of bodies of water, including rivers, or excess rainfall. Mr. Thompson should carefully evaluate the claim by reviewing the specifics of the NFIP policy, as it covers both types of flood damage. Assuming they fit within the program's definition of a flood, it is critical for the adjuster to consider all contributing factors in the loss. When assessing the claim, it is incorrect because the NFIP provides coverage for damages caused by flooding from external sources like rivers, assuming the event meets the program's criteria. B is incorrect because both the rain and the overflow of the river may be covered under the NFIP, and excluding one type of damage would be inappropriate. D is incorrect because NFIP regulations should be applied to assess the claim, and a legal review is not necessary unless there is a specific dispute regarding the coverage. Question 3. Which of the following steps should a claims adjuster take when investigating a potential fraudulent claim? A. Assume the claim is fraudulent and deny the claim immediately. B. Investigate the claim thoroughly, gather evidence, and consult with legal experts if needed. C. Immediately report the claim to law enforcement without further investigation. D. Advise the claimant that their claim is suspicious and ask them to withdraw it. Answer: B. Investigate the claim thoroughly, gather evidence, and consult with legal experts if needed. Explanation: fraudulent claims must be handled carefully and systematically. A claims adjuster should thoroughly investigate the claim, gathering all relevant evidence, such as witness statements, photos, and police reports, to assess the validity of the claim. If fraud is suspected, the adjuster may consult with legal experts or the insurance company's fraud department. Fraud detection is a critical part of the adjuster's role, but it requires evidence and proper legal procedures to ensure that any action taken is justified. It is incorrect because assuming fraud without investigation can lead to unjust denial of a legitimate claim and potential legal ramifications. C is incorrect because while fraudulent claims may require law enforcement involvement, it should be done after thorough investigation and as part of a larger process, not as the first step. D is incorrect because suggesting that the claimant withdraws their claim without due process and evidence could be considered unethical and potentially harmful. Question 4. In the context of evaluating property damage, how should a claims adjuster handle depreciation when determining the claim payout? A. Depreciation should never be considered in the claims evaluation. B. Depreciation is factored into the payout when using actual cash value, CV, but not replacement cost. C. Depreciation is always deducted, regardless of the type of policy. D. Depreciation should be fully accounted for under both actual cash value and replacement cost policies. Answer: B. Depreciation is factored into the payout when using actual cash value, (ACV) but not replacement cost. Explanation. Depreciation is a key consideration in claims adjusting, especially when determining the payout for property damage. Under an actual cash value (ACV) policy, depreciation is factored into account for the reduction in the value of the property over time. The adjuster will deduct depreciation from the repair or replacement costs to determine the payout. However, under a replacement cost policy, the adjuster typically reimburses the insured for the cost to replace the damaged property without considering depreciation. Is incorrect because depreciation must be considered, particularly under the ACV method of payout. C is incorrect because depreciation is not deducted in all cases. It depends on the type of coverage, ACV versus replacement cost. D is incorrect because depreciation is not considered in replacement cost policies, which aim to replace the property without accounting for depreciation. Question 5. Mr. Williams is a public adjuster handling a personal injury claim where the claimant is seeking damages for lost wages due to a car accident. And after reviewing the medical records, it appears that the claimant's injury may not have directly impacted their ability to work. What should Mr. Williams do next? A. Approve the claim for lost wages since it is requested by the claimant. B. Deny the lost wage portion of the claim due to insufficient medical evidence. C. Investigate further by interviewing the claimant and their employer to verify the impact on work. D. Suggest the claimant seek additional medical treatment to justify the lost wage claim. Answer. C. Investigate further by interviewing the claimant and their employer to verify the impact on work. Explanation. In personal injury claims, particularly those involving lost wages, the adjuster must verify the connection between the injury and the claimant's inability to work. Since medical records may not directly address the impact on employment, Mr. Williams should conduct further investigation by interviewing the claimant and their employer to determine how the injury affected the claimant's ability to perform their job duties. This step helps ensure that the claim for lost wages is legitimate and substantiated. Is incorrect because the adjuster should not approve claims without proper verification and evidence. B is incorrect because denying the claim outright without further investigation could lead to unfair denial of a legitimate claim. D is incorrect because suggesting additional treatment is not the adjuster's responsibility unless medically necessary. Instead, verification of the existing evidence is required. Question 6. A policyholder submits a claim for damage caused by a fire. The insurance policy includes a provision for fire damage, but also contains a clause excluding coverage for intentional acts. During the investigation, evidence suggests that the fire may have been deliberately set. What should the claims adjuster do next? A. Approve the claim, as the damage is covered by the fire damage provision. B. Deny the claim outright, as all intentional acts are excluded by the policy. C. Investigate further to confirm whether the fire was indeed intentional before making a decision. D. Contact law enforcement immediately without further investigation. Answer. C. Investigate further to confirm whether the fire was indeed intentional before making a decision. Explanation. When there is a suspicion that a fire may have been intentionally set, the adjuster must investigate further to confirm whether the loss was indeed caused by an intentional act. If the fire was intentional, the claim would likely be excluded based on the policy's terms. The adjuster must gather evidence, such as fire department reports, witness statements, and expert analysis to make a well-informed decision. It is important to follow due process before denying the claim. It is incorrect because although fire damage is typically covered, intentional acts are excluded by most policies, which would make this claim ineligible if the fire was deliberately set. B is incorrect because the claim should not be denied outright without conducting a proper investigation to confirm the cause of the fire. D is incorrect because contacting law enforcement might be necessary in case of criminal activity, but the adjuster's first duty is to thoroughly investigate the claim, not to act immediately based on suspicion. Question 7. Which of the following best describes the role of a staff adjuster in the claims process? A. A staff adjuster is hired by the insured party to advocate on their behalf during claims. B. A staff adjuster works for an insurance company to assess claims and determine payouts. C. A staff adjuster is an independent contractor hired to evaluate claims from multiple insurers. D. A staff adjuster is responsible for investigating fraudulent claims and reporting them to law enforcement. Answer. B. A staff adjuster works for an insurance company to assess claims and determine payouts. Explanation. A staff adjuster is an employee of an insurance company Their primary responsibility is to evaluate insurance claims, assess the damages, determine the appropriate payout, and handle the claims process from start to finish. They do not represent the insured party or work independently for multiple insurers. Staff adjusters are bound by the insurance company's policies and guidelines. That is incorrect because a staff adjuster works for the insurer, not the insured party. C is incorrect because that description applies to an independent adjuster, not a staff adjuster. D is incorrect because while a staff adjuster may encounter fraudulent claims, their primary role is assessing and processing claims, not reporting fraud to law enforcement. Question 8. Which of the following is the primary purpose of an adjuster's loss reserve? A. To determine the exact payout amount for a claim. B. To estimate the potential liability for an insurer based on the claim. C. To avoid paying the claim until the full investigation is completed. D. To provide the insured with an upfront payment for the claim. Answer. B. To estimate the potential liability for an insurer based on the claim. Explanation. A loss reserve is an estimate of the amount an insurer may need to pay to settle a claim. It represents the insurer's potential financial liability based on the expected costs of the claim, including settlement and legal fees. Loss reserves are essential for ensuring that an insurance company maintains enough funds to cover its future obligations. The reserve is an initial estimate and is adjusted as more information becomes available. That is incorrect because the loss reserve is an estimate, not a final payout amount. C is incorrect because the loss reserve is not designed to delay payment but to estimate liability. D is incorrect because loss reserves are not intended for upfront payments but rather for estimating future liabilities. Question 9. When handling a claim involving workers' compensation for a construction worker injured on the job, which of the following should the claims adjuster focus on? A. The worker's ability to return to their job after specified recovery period. B. The amount of medical expenses incurred by the worker due to the injury. C. The worker's level of fault in causing the accident. D. The worker's emotional response to the accident. Answer. B. The amount of medical expenses incurred by the worker due to the injury. Explanation. In a workers' compensation claim, the focus is primarily on the medical expenses incurred due to the work-related injury and the worker's recovery process. The claims adjuster must assess whether the injury is compensable under workers' compensation laws and determine the appropriate medical benefits, lost wages, and rehabilitation costs. The worker's fault in the accident is typically not considered in workers' compensation claims, as these are no-fault systems. That is incorrect because the claims adjuster does not focus solely on the worker's ability to return to work but on the immediate medical expenses and treatment required. C is incorrect because fault is generally not considered in workers' compensation claims, as they are typically no-fault benefits. D is incorrect because while emotional responses may be a factor, the claims adjuster should focus on tangible medical costs and recovery needs. Question 10. Which of the following is a key factor when determining the insurability of a property? A. The property owner's credit score. B. The property's location and its exposure to risk. C. The policyholder's income level. D. The property's resale value. Answer. B. The property's location and its exposure to risk. Explanation. The location of a property and its exposure to risk, such as the likelihood of flooding, earthquakes, or crime rates, are key factors in determining its insurability. Insurance companies assess these risks to gauge the likelihood of a claim and to set the appropriate premiums. It is incorrect because although the owner's credit score can impact underwriting decisions, it is not the primary factor in insuring a property. C is incorrect as the policyholder's income is typically not the primary factor in assessing a property's insurability. D is incorrect because while resale value may be important to the homeowner, insurance companies focus more on the risk and exposure of the property. Question 11. What is the primary purpose of a deductible in an insurance policy? A. To lower the monthly premium for the policyholder. B. To reduce the amount of coverage the policyholder receives. C. To require the policyholder to share in the cost of a claim. D. To ensure the policyholder is compensated for small losses. Answer. C. To require the policyholder to share in the cost of a claim. Explanation. A deductible is the amount that the policyholder must pay out of pocket before the insurance company pays the remaining claim amount. The purpose of the deductible is to share the cost of the claim between the insurer and the policyholder, typically reducing the frequency of small claims. That is incorrect because the deductible can influence the premium, but its primary function is to require the policyholder to share in the cost. B is incorrect because the deductible does not reduce coverage, but rather it reduces the insurer's exposure to small claims. D is incorrect because the deductible is meant to discourage small claims, not compensate for them. Question 12. In a personal auto insurance policy, which of the following coverages would be most appropriate for damages to the policyholder's car caused by hitting? A. Liability insurance. B. Comprehensive coverage. C. Collision coverage. D. Medical payments coverage. Answer: B. Comprehensive coverage. Explanation: comprehensive coverage provides protection for damage to the policyholder's car caused by events other than a collision, such as hitting, vandalism, or theft. This coverage is typically used for non-collision related incidents. It is incorrect because liability insurance covers damages to others, not the policyholder's own vehicle. C is incorrect because collision coverage covers damages caused by a collision, not an animal struck. D is incorrect because medical payments coverage covers medical expenses resulting from an accident, not vehicle damage. Question 13. Which of the following types of insurance is mandated by law in most states for drivers of motor vehicles? A. Collision insurance. B. Comprehensive insurance. C. Liability insurance. D. Uninsured motorist insurance. Answer: C. Liability insurance. Explanation: liability insurance is typically mandated by law in most states to ensure that drivers can cover damages or injuries they cause to others in an accident. It generally includes both bodily injury and property damage coverage. A is incorrect because collision insurance is optional and not required by law. B is incorrect because comprehensive insurance is also optional and not mandated by law. D is incorrect because uninsured motorist insurance is not required by all states, although it is recommended. Question 14. In the event of a loss settlement, an insurer may offer a cash payment to the policyholder for the damaged property. What is the primary purpose of this settlement method? A. To allow the policyholder to repair the property at their discretion. B. To discourage the policyholder from filing future claims. C. To provide compensation without the need for repairs. D. To reduce the insurer's liability in the claim. Answer: A. To allow the policyholder to repair the property at their discretion. Explanation: a cash settlement allows the policyholder to receive a payment for the loss, giving them the flexibility to repair or replace the damaged property as they see fit. This method is commonly used when the insured chooses not to have the property repaired or when the repair cost is lower than the payout. B is incorrect because the settlement is not designed to discourage future claims but to provide immediate compensation for the loss. C is incorrect because the cash settlement provides compensation for damages but the primary purpose is to allow the policyholder to manage the repair process themselves. D is incorrect because the insurer still maintains liability under the policy. The cash settlement is an option for compensation. Question 15. An insured's house is damaged by a storm and the cost to repair it exceeds the policy's coverage limits. What happens next? A. The insurer will deny the claim outright. B. The insured will be required to pay the full difference between the damage and the coverage limits. C. The insurer will pay the entire repair cost regardless of the policy limit. D. The insurer will reduce the claim payment to the policy's coverage limit. Answer: D. The insurer will reduce the claim payment to the policy's coverage limit. Explanation: insurance policies have coverage limits which define the maximum amount the insurer will pay for a loss. If the repair costs exceed these limits, the insurer will only pay up to the limit, and the policyholder will be responsible for covering the remainder. It is incorrect because the insurer typically would deny the claim but will pay up to the policy limit. B is incorrect because the insurer doesn't require the insured to pay the difference unless it exceeds the policy limit, but the insured will be responsible for the excess costs. C is incorrect because the insurer only pays up to the policy limit, not the full cost of repairs. Question 16. Which of the following is an example of a pro rata cancellation? A. The policyholder cancels the policy before the term ends and receives a refund of the unused premium. B. The insurer cancels the policy before the term ends and returns a portion of the premium to the policyholder. C. The insurer cancels the policy and the policyholder receives no refund. D. The policyholder and insurer mutually agree to cancel the policy at the policyholder's request. Answer: B. The insurer cancels the policy before the term ends and returns a portion of the premium to the policyholder. Explanation: a pro rata cancellation occurs when the insurer cancels the policy and refunds the unused portion of the premium based on the time the coverage was in effect. This method ensures the policyholder is refunded proportionately for the unused period. It is incorrect because that describes a situation where the policyholder cancels the policy which may not involve pro rata. C is incorrect because if the insurer cancels the policyholder should generally receive a refund, not no refund. D is incorrect because mutual cancellation typically doesn't involve pro rata refunding unless specified. Question 17. Which of the following is the primary purpose of a liability insurance policy? A. To cover the policyholder's property damage. B. To cover legal defense costs in case of lawsuits. C. To provide income replacement for an injured policyholder. D. To replace stolen property. Answer: B. To cover legal defense costs in case of lawsuits. Explanation: the primary purpose of liability insurance is to protect the insured from legal claims for damages or injuries they cause to others. It typically covers both the damages awarded in a lawsuit and the legal defense costs associated with defending the lawsuit. That is incorrect because liability insurance does not cover the policyholder's property, it covers damages caused to others. C is incorrect because liability insurance does not cover income replacement, and that's typically covered under disability insurance. D is incorrect because liability insurance does not cover theft or property loss. Question 18. When an insurance policy includes a coinsurance clause, what does it typically require of the policyholder? A. The policyholder must pay a fixed amount for each claim. B. The policyholder must insure their property for a specified percentage of its value. C. The policyholder must purchase insurance from a specific provider. D. The policyholder must pay for any claim that exceeds the deductible. Answer: B. The policyholder must insure their property for a specified percentage of its value. Explanation: a coinsurance clause typically requires the policyholder to insure their property for at least a certain percentage of its replacement value. If the insured fails to meet this requirement, they will be responsible for a portion of the loss, usually resulting in a reduced payout. It is incorrect because the coinsurance clause does not involve fixed payments for claims, but rather ensures the property is adequately insured. C is incorrect because the coinsurance clause is not about the choice of insurance provider. D is incorrect because the coinsurance clause does not require the policyholder to pay for claims exceeding the deductible. Instead, it involves ensuring the property is insured for a specified percentage of its value, and failing to do so could result in a reduced payout for the claim even if the deductible has been met. Question 19. Which of the following is a characteristic of umbrella insurance? A. It covers only property damage. B. It provides additional liability coverage beyond standard policy limits. C. It is required by law in most states. D. It replaces your regular homeowners or auto insurance. Answer: B. It provides additional liability coverage beyond standard policy limits. Explanation: umbrella insurance provides additional liability coverage that goes beyond the limits of your standard homeowners, auto, or other personal insurance policies. It is designed to protect you from large, unexpected liability claims that exceed the standard policy limits. It is incorrect because umbrella insurance is focused on liability, not property damage. C is incorrect because umbrella insurance is not typically required by law. D is incorrect because umbrella insurance does not replace regular insurance but supplements it with extra liability coverage. Question 20. In a whole life insurance policy, which of the following is a feature that distinguishes it from a term life insurance policy? A. The premiums increase over time. B. The coverage is only for a specific period. C. The policy accumulates a cash value. D. The premiums are lower than for term life insurance. Answer: C. The policy accumulates a cash value. Explanation: a whole life insurance policy is a type of permanent life insurance that accumulates a cash value over time, which the policyholder can borrow against or withdraw. It provides coverage for the insured's entire lifetime as long as premiums are paid. In contrast, term life insurance provides coverage for a set period and does not accumulate a cash value. It is incorrect because the premiums for whole life insurance are typically fixed and do not increase over time. B is incorrect because term life insurance covers only a specific period, while whole life insurance covers the insured for life. D is incorrect because whole life insurance premiums are generally higher than term life insurance premiums due to the cash value component and lifelong coverage. Question 21. Which of the following is an example of moral hazard in insurance? A. The driver refuses to purchase comprehensive auto coverage because the car is old. B. A homeowner installs a fire alarm after buying home insurance. C. A person takes greater risks because they have insurance coverage. D. An insured party pays a higher premium for a higher level of coverage. Answer: C. A person takes greater risks because they have insurance coverage. Explanation: moral hazard refers to the situation where individuals or organizations take on greater risks because they know they are covered by insurance. For example, a person may drive recklessly knowing that auto insurance will cover the damages. It is incorrect because this behavior shows caution, not moral hazard. B is incorrect because installing a fire alarm is a proactive safety measure and not an example of moral hazard. D is incorrect because paying higher premiums for better coverage is not an example of moral hazard and it reflects the policyholder's choice of coverage. Question 22. Which of the following is a key advantage of purchasing insurance through an insurance agent? A. The agent can make decisions on behalf of the insurer. B. The agent typically offers policies from a wide variety of insurers. C. The agent will always offer the lowest premium options. D. The agent can settle claims without the insurer's involvement. Answer: B. The agent typically offers policies from a wide variety of insurers. Explanation: an insurance agent typically offers policies from multiple insurance companies, allowing the client to compare various options and choose the best coverage for their needs. The agent can provide personalized advice based on the client's unique situation. Is incorrect because the agent does not make decisions on behalf of the insurer. They represent the insurer to the client. C is incorrect because agents do not always offer the lowest premiums. They offer a variety of options, but the cheapest may not always be the best for the client. D is incorrect because the agent does not settle claims independently. They assist in the process, but claims are handled by the insurer. Question 23. Which of the following is an example of specialized coverage in an insurance policy? A. Basic home liability coverage. B. Flood insurance in a high-risk area. C. Auto liability coverage. D. Health insurance. Answer: B. Flood insurance in a high-risk area. Explanation: specialized coverage refers to insurance that is tailored to specific risks, often outside of typical policy offerings. Flood insurance is an example of specialized coverage, especially in high-risk flood zones, as it is typically not included in standard homeowners insurance. It is incorrect because basic liability coverage is a standard part of most homeowners policies. C is incorrect because auto liability coverage is a common type of insurance and not specialized. D is incorrect because health insurance is a standard type of insurance, not specialized. Question 24. What is the primary responsibility of an insurance underwriter? A. To decide the premiums for insurance policies. B. To handle the claims made by policyholders. C. To assess the risks of insuring a potential client. D. To provide customer service to insured individuals. Answer: C. To assess the risks of insuring a potential client. Explanation: an underwriter is responsible for assessing the risk associated with insuring a client and determining the terms and conditions of the policy. This includes evaluating the likelihood of a claim being made and setting the appropriate premiums. It is incorrect because the underwriter may provide input on premiums, but they are not typically the ones who directly set them. Actuaries and other departments also influence premiums. B is incorrect because claims handling is the responsibility of a claims adjuster, not an underwriter. D is incorrect because customer service is generally handled by customer support, not by underwriters. Question 25. Which of the following best describes the principle of indemnity in insurance? A. Insurance should restore the policyholder to the same financial position they were in before the loss, no more, no less. B. The policyholder must maintain their property in a safe condition to avoid claims. C. The insurance payout is determined by the emotional impact of the loss on the policyholder. D. The insured party is entitled to a payout that exceeds the value of the damaged property. Answer A. Insurance should restore the policyholder to the same financial position they were in before the loss, no more, no less. Explanation: the principle of indemnity ensures that an insurance policy compensates the policyholder for their financial loss, but it is not meant to allow them to profit from the loss. The goal is to restore the policyholder to their pre-loss financial position, not to exceed it. B is incorrect because the principle of indemnity is about compensation for a loss, not about maintaining property. C is incorrect because indemnity focuses on financial compensation, not emotional factors. D is incorrect because the policyholder is only entitled to compensation up to the actual value of the property, not more. These 10 questions provide a variety of scenarios and concepts to aid in your understanding of key insurance principles. Let me know if you'd like more questions or further explanations. Question 26. What does bodily injury liability insurance typically cover in an auto insurance policy? A. Damage to the other driver's vehicle. B. Medical expenses for the insured. C. Medical expenses and lost wages for the other driver and passengers. D. Legal fees for defending against a lawsuit. Answer: C. Medical expenses and lost wages for the other driver and passengers. Explanation: Bodily injury liability insurance is designed to cover the medical expenses, lost wages, and legal costs for the other driver and their passengers if the insured driver is at fault in an accident. It does not cover damages to the insured's own vehicle or their own medical expenses. It is incorrect because damage to the other driver's vehicle would be covered under property damage liability, not bodily injury liability. B is incorrect because medical expenses for the insured are typically covered under medical payments or personal injury protection (PEP) insurance. D is incorrect because legal fees for defending a lawsuit would be covered under liability or legal defense clauses, not bodily injury liability insurance. Question 27. Which of the following is not typically covered under a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Damage from fire. B. Theft of personal property. C. Damage from earthquakes. D. Liability for guest injuries. Answer: C. Damage from earthquakes. Explanation: homeowners insurance typically covers damage from fire, theft, and liability for guest injuries, but earthquake damage is usually excluded. Homeowners must purchase a separate earthquake policy or rider if they want to be covered for earthquake-related damage. That is incorrect because fire damage is typically covered under homeowners insurance. B is incorrect because theft of personal property is usually included in standard homeowners policies. D is incorrect because liability for injuries to guests is included in most homeowners insurance policies. Question 28. Which type of insurance provides coverage for businesses in case of a business interruption? A. General liability insurance. B. Workers' compensation insurance. C. Business interruption insurance. D. Commercial auto insurance. Answer: C. Business interruption insurance. Explanation: business interruption insurance covers lost income and operating expenses if a business is unable to operate due to an unexpected event, such as a fire or natural disaster. This type of insurance helps businesses stay afloat during the time they cannot conduct their usual operations. It is incorrect because general liability insurance covers legal liabilities, not business interruptions. B is incorrect because workers' compensation insurance covers employee injuries, not business interruptions. D is incorrect because commercial auto insurance covers vehicle-related incidents, not interruptions to business operations. Question 29. Which of the following is an example of accidental death and dismemberment (AD) insurance? A. A policy that pays a fixed amount for a death caused by an accident. B. A policy that provides income replacement for long-term disabilities. C. A policy that covers medical expenses after an accident. D. A policy that covers funeral costs. Answer: A. A policy that pays a fixed amount for a death caused by an accident. Explanation: accidental death and dismemberment (AD) insurance provides a fixed benefit payment if the policyholder dies or suffers severe injuries, such as loss of a limb or sight, due to an accident. It does not cover death due to natural causes or medical conditions. B is incorrect because income replacement for long-term disabilities is typically covered under disability insurance, not AD. C is incorrect because medical expenses after an accident are generally covered under health insurance. D is incorrect because funeral costs may be covered by burial insurance or life insurance, not AD. Question 30. What is the purpose of an exclusion in an insurance policy? A. To specify the types of losses that the insurance will cover. B. To identify the amount the policyholder must pay before coverage begins. C. To outline the conditions under which the policy will not provide coverage. D. To provide additional coverage options for the policyholder. Answer: C. To outline the conditions under which the policy will not provide coverage. Explanation: an exclusion in an insurance policy specifies the situations, events, or conditions that are not covered by the insurance. These exclusions help define the limits of the policy and ensure the insured understands what is not included in the coverage. It is incorrect because the exclusions do not specify covered losses, but rather clarify what is not covered. B is incorrect because the amount the policyholder must pay before coverage begins is specified by the deductible, not the exclusion. D is incorrect because exclusions reduce coverage, not add to it.